I hesitated right before opening the door to Sabrina's salon. We had been friends since childhood, and when she called me the night before saying she needed to talk, I was caught off guard. Her voice had been so urgent, so insistent that I had to come the next day, that it immediately put me on edge. When I asked her why the rush, she only said it was serious and I needed to be there, on time. I promised her I would be, and at 5 the next day, I stood at the door of her salon. I walked inside, and Sabrina was already waiting. She asked me to sit beside her so we could talk. I was still anxious from the night before, but I sat down, and to my surprise, she took my hand. Her voice trembled as she began. She told me that her feelings about our friendship were causing her immense pain. I was stunned. I never expected to hear those words from her. Sabrina and I had been close friends for as long as I could remember, and now, it seemed, she wanted more. That thought made me uneasy. She then asked me to recall the day we first dressed up in each other's clothes. Smiling, I said I remembered it well. She asked if I remembered telling her how good it felt to wear her clothes. I confirmed it, but then asked why she was bringing this up now. Sabrina then confessed that she had liked the way I looked in her clothes, and she wished we had done it more than that one time. I nervously laughed and asked if she was serious. She assured me she was. She told me that ever since that day, all she had thought about was seeing me in her clothes again. Then, with a dramatic pause, she said she also wanted me to be her best girlfriend. Hearing those words took me by surprise. I told her she couldn't be serious and that it was just foolish talk. An almost mischievous smile spread across Sabrina's face as she stood up. She looked down at me and, with a serious tone, told me she wasn't joking. In fact, she said, before I had arrived, she had prepared a special surprise. Before I could react, she slipped a medallion around my neck, and suddenly, I couldn't move. I felt frozen in place, unable to speak or stand, while Sabrina went off into another part of her salon. Sitting there, I started to feel strangely calm, though there was an uncomfortable itching sensation all over my body. When Sabrina returned, I tried to speak, but the voice that came out of me was unexpectedly feminine. Sabrina laughed, telling me the medallion was working faster than she had anticipated. I could feel my hair growing, and soon, it cascaded past my shoulders. My eyes widened in shock as I saw my reflection in the mirror. My hair had turned into a long auburn shade, and my face had been radically altered, now looking distinctly feminine. Sabrina leaned over me and whispered that the best part was still to come. She helped me stand and guided me into her styling chair. Once I was settled, she misted my hair and began to comb through it, sectioning it off. Then, to my horror, she began rolling my hair onto perm rods, covering my entire head. She sprayed a foul-smelling liquid on each rod, then covered my head with a plastic cap and set a timer for 45 minutes. She sat back, still smiling, as I asked her why she was doing this to me. Sabrina explained that she had taken my words to heart, recalling how I once expressed a wish to change clothes with her. Since then, she had spent every spare moment researching until she found the 3 medallions of femininity. She explained that the first medallion, called the Features Stone, altered my voice, facial features, and hair. Sabrina said she would first style my hair into something beautiful, then apply makeup to turn my face into the image of a perfect woman. I once more asked why, and she leaned back, her gaze distant as she answered. She said it was because she wanted me to experience the beauty and passion that only a woman could feel, to take that feeling and become her girlfriend, lover, and confidant. With those words, she left me there, sitting in silence, contemplating everything she had just told me. I was initially overwhelmed with panic, but as I processed it, I began to wonder if Sabrina was just playing some sort of elaborate game with me. But no, looking at my face and hair, I realized this was no joke. It was real. My thoughts cleared when Sabrina returned with a second medallion, which she set down beside her chair. I watched as she removed the plastic cap from my hair, then wheeled me over to a sink to rinse it out. A cold liquid was applied to my hair and left for 10 more minutes before being rinsed off. Next, Sabrina took out the perm rods and wrapped my hair in a towel before wheeling me back to the styling station. She positioned me so I could watch as she removed the towel, revealing my hair now full of springy curls framing my face. I was about to scream, but then a sense of fascination took over. I found myself telling Sabrina that I looked so pretty. She giggled softly and began rolling my hair again, this time using large curlers. Just like before, my hair was tightly secured, and a dryer was placed over my head. The warmth from the dryer felt soothing as I closed my eyes, my head spinning with thoughts of what else Sabrina might do next. I must have lost track of time because suddenly, the dryer was turned off, and Sabrina moved me back in front of the mirror, removing the curlers one by one. When the last curler came out, I was left with soft curls, and Sabrina began arranging them, finally pinning my hair up into a gorgeous updo. Small curls framed my face, and a generous amount of hairspray kept everything in place. The new style made me look entirely feminine, and my altered facial features seemed to complement it perfectly. Sabrina helped me stand and removed my clothes, and I still couldn't resist. Standing before her, she opened a medium-sized package, retrieving a bra, which she carefully fitted onto my chest. A Victorian corset followed, cinching my waist into a sleek hourglass shape. Odd-looking panties were strapped over me, and nylons encased my legs. Smaller high-heeled shoes, too tight for my usual foot size, were placed on my feet and secured. Sabrina was finished, and she sat me down, taking the second medallion. She placed the medallion around my neck and fastened it quickly. I soon learned that this one was called the Bountiful Stone. As it settled against my skin, I felt a strange sensation sweeping through me. My skin tightened, and I looked down in disbelief as my feet shrank, and the high heels I was wearing now fit perfectly without any discomfort. My chest began to fill the cups of the bra, now a full D cup. In my inner thighs, I felt a strange sensation as my body seemed to change, and when I looked again, I had been transformed. The corset fell loose as my waist became narrow, my hips curvaceous. Sabrina told me I looked incredible. After she dressed me in an elegant evening gown, I saw myself in the mirror, my new form reflecting back at me. The figure staring back was that of a tall, shapely woman, and it all felt so unreal. Sabrina gently sat me down again and began applying makeup to my face. Using a small pad, she carefully applied foundation, followed by eyeshadow, and then lined both my upper and lower eyelids. She brushed blush onto my cheeks, traced the outer line of my lips with a pencil, and filled them in with creamy lipstick. With each stroke, my face became more convincing, until it was unmistakably feminine. Sabrina told me there was only one thing left to do, to place the final medallion on me. She held up a bright pink one, and as she fastened it around my neck, I immediately felt my mind flooded with a million thoughts and emotions. Curious, I asked her what this medallion was called. She told me it was the medallion of inner self, explaining that it would fill me with the thoughts, feelings, care, and confidence that a woman would have. As I looked down, I saw all three medallions shining brightly on my chest. Slowly, they faded and disappeared into my skin, leaving me with a strange sense of completion. I was now a woman, and Sabrina had the partner she had always wanted, someone who could truly understand her as only another woman could. I could comfort her when she was sad, lift her spirits when she was down, and never doubt that I would always be there for her. The three medallions of femininity were now a part of me forever. I would remain a woman, and Sabrina would be rewarded with my love. In return, I would embrace this new life, a life I had once only dreamed of. I loved Sabrina, and she loved me, and together, we would fulfill each other's needs. As for a man, that was a distant thought. Our bond was all we needed now. Don't forget to join me on Patreon for exclusive content,